Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Data Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of Port, stay tuned because you might like what we are cooking. And the song of the day is The Take by Tory Lane featuring Chris Brown. It was part of the mixtape that was released in 2019 called the Chicks Tape 5. The song was 3 minutes 41 seconds long and currently sits at north of 307 on Spotify alone. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about it. It's Monday Movie Review, and today we are going to talk about something very unique. Like the show, I think I gave it one view. I haven't really given it a full watch, a proper season, because the season is very much long. It's 20 episodes, so I skipped to the middle episode 11 of Not Your Usual Family. That's the name of the series, by the way, for the people that are wondering what I'm talking about. So today we are reviewing a series, No Ordinary Family. It's the name of the series, No Ordinary Family. I think I'm just trying to Google it and see if it comes out. So No Ordinary Family, it's an American sci-fi series. So it's on Netflix and Amazon, I believe, and it's been rated 6 out of 10 on IMDb, and Rotten Potato rated 71 out of 100, TV Guide rated 65 out of 100. So these are pretty good numbers, So I haven't really, like I said, given it a lot of watch to have the full on critical helmet on with let's criticize the guys to this degree. But I think from the little that I was able to watch on or about the series is that it the storyline very much powerful. And there's certain things I was questioning, because also this series was released in 2020, 2011. Throughout the span of it was 20 episodes, one series, 2010 to 2011. So it's about the Powers family. It's an average family who gains superpowers after a plane crash in the Amazon, and they try to live their normal lives until they discover that they are normal people. They are not normal people because of those superpowers. So I got to watch it, and I really enjoyed watching the snippets, because snippets can really sell you on something. I saw a snippet, I think I saw the snippets on TikTok if I'm not mistaken, and I was like, oh, this seems like a very much good movie, and only to find out later on that it was a series. And I was like, dope, meaning I have something to watch for the Sunday. But I really watched I watched one episode, and it wasn't a lot. So that's why I said to Vusi, how the rating based on the watch time won't be as sure. I'm not. So the ratings for it won't be as precise as the other ratings. You remember the ratings that we did for the Power? I think it was Ghost. The ratings for that, I was able to give an overall rating for the entire series because of my understanding and start to end, because I really watched it and understood it from bottom to top. So with this one, it's a bit, I think I still need to sit with 4 or 5 more episodes for me to have a full-on or overall take about this. But I think storyline is there. The casting and the videography of the movie, it's not there. It's not there. I think because of the technology during that time. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just making excuses for them at this point. I think maybe it's because of some of the technology that's available to make a series such as Power series, such as Billionaire is actually an old series, not as old as this one, but it's one of those few series that are out there as we speak. But I think in comparison to this one, it's not the same. But my point is, maybe it might be the technology behind, because the storyline is there. They really cooked. The people who were the script writers for this, I think they did a pretty good job. I'd give that a 5. out of 10. So like, I don't know what you think. Maybe if you can just write on like the comment section some of your thoughts about the movie if you've watched it. I don't think this is like one of those underrated series that people don't really talk about until you like truly like dive into it and like look and watch whatever you may listen, whatever. But I think I'm still 50% in, like I said, to give a full-on review about the series. And yeah, that's about it. So people, I think also like the people who voted for the series, not a lot of people who rated for the series. And I think majority of the people who rated for the series are the people who are based in the United States. When you look at the demographics of the series, like it's all the people in the United States. It's less people from like your Africa, your Europe. It's more American based. So yeah. And one other thing, I just need you guys to do one more thing, right? So I just need you to make recommendations of more, more like London-y type series. I think I did watch one series that was from London, which is The Seed. I think it's The Seed. It's called The Seed. We did a review for this particular series the week before last. I think we did a review for that. Before we did the Ghostbusters review, we did the Ghostbusters review. Then after the Ghostbusters review, we did The Seed, and it had something like 11 episodes in that one season, and they never made it again. And I think it's one of those few series that I feel like they could have just made the season 2, because it's that nice. It's that nice. So that's my opinion, though. That's my opinion when it comes to that particular series. Please do make recommendations on the comment section, and please do not forget to follow, like, and comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. So yeah, moving. I think I'd like to, because I think I touched it. There's not much to talk about in these series. The Song of the Day is the take for those of you just joined us. I think I'd like to move on, because there's a lot that happened in this weekend. I think the assassination of Donald Trump, or the failed attempt of the assassination of Donald Trump. I think we need to also talk about that. And the list that happened, Gayton Mckenzie released of all the people that benefited from COVID-19, the fund. So I think they spent something like 75 million on that. So people like Kelly Kumalo McG also is one of the people that benefited from the people who got funding from that. This is the artist list. I think people were asking about the sports list as well. Like, let's not just release the sports list, let's also like release the soccer list, And upon like the release of the list that came out, the artist list, I think also Mckenzie also was caught in the crossfire. SARS, and I think now they're selling the team, if I'm not mistaken. And Cut Blanche also did an interview reviewing the club, and according to Cut Blanche, the research they made, I think Royal AM is the second mismanaged organization, or soccer organization, or whatever, soccer team. Second most disorganized soccer team, it's Royal AM. So that caught fire. Mckenzie also was interviewed. I'm taking this, all credits goes to Lesego M, by the way. He was like covering the story. I'm taking all of this from her, So I'm taking all this. I don't know if she said allegedly, but it's all facts. It's all on the internet. So for those of you who want to go out and cross-proof or like verify what I'm saying, you can go out and just So yeah, man, do let me know if you did watch the Cut Blanche interview with Mckenzie and the Cut Blanche squad about her being a fraudster and all those things, and SARS being involved and Royal AM being sold allegedly. So do let me know in the comment section. I think that's pretty much interesting. And one thing that caught my eye when it comes to that list that came out, which Gayton Mckenzie released, I think yesterday, if not the day before, I think I saw people like Kelly Kumalo, of which Kelly Kumalo you'd expect to she's one of the few people that were supposed to get 75k, such as Womek G, and there's few people of course that got like 70k. But I think to justify or to give reasoning to some of the reasons why people got 70, people like Womek G got 75k or 90k, I think there's two stories. I think someone did say Meg said they got 90, but the report says they got 75. So now the question is okay, like why did Meg get 75 and some of them are getting 20? I think to Meg, I think even Nyanda Woods, they did an episode where they were explaining, or even called Mick G, they called Mick G, and he did explain like I spoke about this numerous times on the podcast, and the reason that happened, it's because there is a team that I work with. There was both people like Len was part of the podcast, and Ghost Lady Kanye was there as well, Mick G as well. So they had to split it 4 or 5 ways, if I'm not mistaken. If it's 4, if they split that 75k, like if they split it 4 ways, it's like 18k point something, per individual. So I'm like, it goes down to like what everyone else was getting at the point, But one other thing, I'm like, there's this guy by him, he goes by the name of Hermes Deron. I think if you remember that there was that thing in the internet that was, Hermes, is it Hermes or Hermanes Deron? I think it's Hermanes Deron. So people were asking on the internet if he is, who's, Chinese Deron's sister or brother, rather. So is he Chinese Deron's brother? What she did come on the internet and say, no, I'm not Chinese Deron's brother. We just share the same surname. That's about it. There's nothing further that goes into like the bloodline or whatever. We just share the same name. I've never met her. She's never met me. She did. But surprisingly, when I looked at the numbers, the gap between Kelly Kumalo and not Chinese Deron. When I look at the gap between Kelly Kumalo and Hermanas Deron, it's like 18k. And I'm not saying it's like, racial bias is in whatever the play is, but I'm like, I know more of Kelly Kumalo than I do Hermanas Deron. Like from a logical standpoint, I'm like, it makes more sense for Hermanas, in my understanding or my perspective, because Hermanas maybe should have gotten the 10 and Kelly's the 17. I mean, like looking at the two artists, you would say it's like this one is bigger than this one. It doesn't make sense. And then I start to think, the fact that I don't know Hermanas Deron doesn't mean that he's a smaller artist. Because I also didn't do my due diligence when it comes to him and like the platform and the art that he does. I don't know what he does, but I was like, nah, the likelihood that a lot of people know about Hermanas Deron and Kelly Kumalo, the numbers would be more on Kelly Kumalo, because obviously if on the black community, the black people side, which is the majority side, you would get a lot of people who know who Kelly is and they don't know who Hermanas Deron is, So when we gauge then support, how do we then, which is like the criteria we use to give funds to these people? If Hermanas got 18 and Kelly got 10, what's the justification behind that, So that's also a conversation to talk about. And I mean, like, you release all these lists, what was the criteria, and and however that McG spent it, why is it inconsistent when both these artists are musicians and they fairly the same, they fairly share the same audience, the platform, no one is bigger than the other, I'm like, why is one getting this and other is getting that? What's the criteria behind that as well? And who are the people behind, the fund distributions, the funds distributions? And I'm like, okay, like maybe that's also something to talk about within that, because I think one question that raised it all for me, it was the 18k to 10k, Kelly 10, Hermanas Deron 17, and like, I don't know who Hermanas. I was like, this is interesting. I'm not saying there's racial biases in here, but it sure looks, this doesn't make sense. At least give us the criteria that was used to give, to pop out these funds to all these artists, amazing artists. And I think shout out to, and I think there were people who were like hating, because when it comes to, I'm going to speak about this for like 1 minute. So for the people that, were saying Guti, because you remember who's this lady, Mama Joy, she got funding to go to France for the 4 weeks here World Cup. So they spent something like 1.3 million on her alone. Is it her alone on the trip? And Gayton Mckenzie stripped that off of her to say like there will be no funding of any supporter from taxpayers' money. So Mama Joy is now she supposedly has to get a job, work, because now like she won't be getting funding from the state anymore. And officially, a lot of people, when that came out, they were very much happy with how we are working hard, paying SARS this, and he's doing this, doing that. But and I was like, well, like Mama Joy is the big part, of sports in our country. And in any moment when you look at the camera, you will see Mama Joy there, and this happened, yes, you'd see Mama Joy in the derby for Orlando Pirates. That's where it's all started for her, and I'm like, maybe let's not rip off, like let's not take away and see what's okay, like what are some of the categories, how do we then balance the situation without stripping that off of her, like how do we then, okay, like we are stripping 1.3 off, yes, it's spent already, but like what are some of the matches? Because sometimes it's nice to get people from home who are supporting the team, like fans, and Mama Joy is one of those people you could count on to be there for the boys, World Cup, soccer, cricket, rugby. We expect Mama Joy to be there to see it, because she's a huge part of like the fan base in SA. So to do that also, I was like, maybe it wasn't a good move. But as well, I was like, okay, but maybe this makes sense. I don't know, in which perspective. If you do share different perspectives, do let me know in the comment section. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, the report, aka Shoot Your Shot. Maybe you might get a chance to call me daddy, like hi. Well, what did you think about the movie review of today? I know it was wet as hell, but I know also I'm a bit rusty as well, because we haven't been releasing a lot of episodes currently, and then I've been busy on a personal level, or personal capacity. I've been busy as well. So I do apologize to a lot of you for not releasing a lot of episodes, So, but yeah, I intend on releasing more episodes. This is longer than expected. So yeah, man, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the book of the day is from Vusi Thembekwayo. The name of the book is Business and Life Lessons from a Black Dragon. So the dragon comes from the dragon's den, so like he's dragon's den, black dragon, him being black and being a dragon as well. I think that comes from that, So the book was released on the 17th of July 2017 by author Vusi Thembekwayo. There's one rating on Amazon. I don't know how accurate that is. And for people who want to buy the book is 207, 33% discount from its last price of 310 rands. It went down. So yeah, it was released the 17th of July 2017. It's in English. The book is 176 pages long, and it was published by Tafelberg Publishing Ltd. So for those of you who are interested in the book, please read. And if you've read the book, do let us know in the comment section what you think about the book, and what are some of the highlights, or the wisdom that you took from the book on the comment section. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, the report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me daddy like Cairo. Let's meet again on another exciting episode of Backroom Convos with Lesego M. Cheers.